Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Welcome back to another episode of Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, Billy Corgan's NWA. And we are here after night one of the NWA Super Cup, which went pretty well. If we look here at the headlines around the world, let's see. 2,000 fans were drawn. Feedback was excellent. Which definitely, I think that was one of our higher rated shows, and it was a sellout in the amphitheater, which is awesome. We'll have to look back before we start going. I kind of want to see what our other shows were. I think that's definitely one of our higher performing shows, which is cool. Apparently, FCP is doing bad. Fight Club Pro must be falling into bad times. Oh yeah, they ain't doing gonna as well there. So I mean, that's something too. We could always. Apparently, Trent 7 made it. Yeah, I've never done it. You could buy out these companies. Which would be kind of interesting. What's your roster at this point? Kaylee Ray. I think she's only available to wrestle in... No, she's in Japan right now. Pete Dunne. Session Martha Martina. Someone's going to have to explain to me what the hell a session moth is. Either it's a British thing or a Durger's getting old thing, but I have no idea what the hell that's supposed to mean. But I'm assuming a party person? I don't know. So I wonder how you actually buy. I've never bought one out. I don't think that's the one to do, but it's something we might want to look at some point because we could probably, get a bunch of smaller companies to boost us up. Iron Man Cody Rhodes. Friends close to Cody Rhodes have said that they are worried about his recent schedule and it's taking a big toll on him and his physical and mental health. Yeah, I know he's hurting. I don't think his body's that bad though, but he is suffering. He's not suffering from any injuries, but he is weaker. Needs to be rested. So something we have to look at. That's why I gave him a tag team match the last time. I just wanted him to rest a little bit, but that doesn't mean he's resting everywhere else. That's the problem with having people that are on PPAs is that they're wrestling in other organizations. So I can give them a night off, but God knows what will happen when I put them there. Everyone's got morale issues. Is that still... Why is everyone irritated? No, everyone's still irritated from a while ago. That's fine. Nah, that's all fine. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wanted to look at the shows real quick and just see. How do I look at my old shows? Schedule. Show history. Don't remember. Don't remember how to do it now. I just kind of wanted to see what our shows were like. It wasn't broadcasting, was it? No. Anyways, we're making slow progress out of the funk that we had, but we still really need to push this forward. So one of the things I was going to do, is we're going to do a little hiring real quick. Because I think we need some more star power. So, I was going to go into the WWE's alumni. And we're going to grab a few people that they just let go. Before they go somewhere else. So I think we're going to grab... No-brainer here, Zack Ryder. Popularity's huge. We'll get him on a 3-year contract. $1,000 downside, and see if he'll take that. 1270. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. Got to spend money to make money. Who else did they get rid of? Got rid of R-Truth. Got rid of. How much are you? Whew. Let's say he would be a gatekeeper. Gotta get him lower though. That is high. All right. I don't really want to spend that much money on him. I mean, I like Gold Dust, but for a gatekeeper role, I don't know. I'm gonna only put him on a year contract too. $1,400 a month. Oh God, he wants almost $2,000 a month. What if I give you creative control for your character, which is probably a mistake. $1,750. That's better. Whew. Okay, that'll work. For a year, we'll have him as a gatekeeper kind of role. Is anybody else that we want here? Saw some people talking about Naomi. Might not be a bad option. I mean, we have a lot of women now, but nobody as strong as her. Maybe Tanil and Viper. Yeah, I think that's a good option. She's not that bad, too. It's just pretty cheap. Let's see if I can get her for like 900 an appearance or something like that. 3 years. What do you... 1070? Yeah, that's fine. Could always use a little extra star power there, especially because now we have 2 belts. So we have two women's belts. Gives them a little something else extra to play with. So we can kind of mess around a little bit more. Darren Young, I don't think there's anybody else. Like Ho-Ho Loon, maybe. He's got strong performance skills, but he's not that expensive. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. That's cheap for a person that is not that was on their roster. 440. Yeah, sure, dude. Whatever. Here, I'll give you extra 10. Round it out. He's strong physical, strong performance, strong in ring. He's just not very popular. But we could play him with people have good matches. Like maybe he'll have a really good match against Tyler or Will Ospreay or something. We could put him in that division. Okay, so that's not bad. Anybody that was knocked out of New Japan recently? I don't think so. No. Oh, you know what I should look at too? Because do they have it separated? I wonder if they have NXT separated or if they let them go out of NXT. Yeah. Let's see. Not necessarily, because some of these are just call-ups. Yeah, like a lot of these are just call-ups. It's a bummer. Rich Swan's still there in my save. Page is still there in my save. I would never want him, but then I think she was only there for the Mae Young, so that's why she's on there. So that's a little tough. Should make it easier to be able to figure that stuff out, but anyways. All right, so there's some hirings there. That could be pretty good. I think there's some fun stuff that we could do with there. I might also pick up R-Truth, but maybe just not right now. When I'm closer to when I want to use them. But definitely a little extra star power is going to help us out, I think. All right, let's go ahead and fast forward to the show. Ooh, that was fast. All right. Let's go ahead and set our broadcaster. CW is still working for us here. We do have a locker room incident. Let's see what's going on. Our locker room's been hanging steady around 75, which has been pretty good. We're not in our bad locker room days anymore. Maybe we are. There's an incident between Josephus and Tangaroa. Is it Roa? I thought it was Loa. Is that wrong? That's weird. There's been spreading rumors about Tangaloa, which also led to a fist fight between the two. Jeez. We're gonna. Can I? I don't think I can find a PPA. Can I? I can. All right. Incident. This is just a wrestler's court. Yeah, it's fine. Ryan Hebner could be good. All right. Let's see. Let's get Viper and Hangman friendly. Yeah, it worked. Cool. That's good. Okay. So where are we going to be? No. I don't want to be in the Sun Impact Zone. I don't think that even fits enough people. We're expecting 2,200 people. All right. I got to get rid of that. It's constantly showing up and annoying me. It's a testament to my failures of not planning strong enough that I had to sell this freaking Sun Impact Zone. All right. So we'll set this here. I mean, I'd rather have a sellout and have some people left on the table than empty seats, so we'll see what we got. We could do that one. City Rink. Ooh, that's perfect. Sioux Center Convention Center, 2,400 should fit everybody in there. Not a hotbed though, which is a shame. But not many places that are. All right, perfect. All right, well, let's go ahead and book night 2 of the Super Cup. Alrighty, and we're back for night 2 of the Super Cup. Not a lot of angles tonight because we obviously don't need to, which is good, but we got some stuff going on. It should be pretty fun. And of course, we will be finding out tonight who our final 4 competitors will be for the Super Cup. So we should be leading into night 3. And night 3 is going to be tough because not only do they have to, these 4 competitors have to fight, the winners of the 2 have to then go do a final at the end of the night. So you don't have a lot of time to rest. They're both going to be equally worn out, though. It should be pretty tough for them. Hopefully they don't get injured, because that would really suck. But let's go ahead and go on with the show. All right, so we start with our first of the Night 2 Cup matches, PJ Black versus Tim Storm. And what we end up having is kind of an upset. Tim Storm steals the win. He uses some underhanded tactics. He holds his feet on the ropes at the bottom, basically during a pinfall. And after a match where PJ basically kind of leads in terms of the opposition in the match, Tim Storm gets a quick pinfall, ends up, surprising him, cradles him up, and actually holds him down using the leverage from the bottom rope. The ref didn't see it, and Tim Storm proceeds and continues to the final 4s. PJ can be seen at the end pretty much stomping around, being really upset, and Tim Storm kind of sneaks out. Though it's just interesting, though. I didn't expect this. Look at this. PJ Black and Tim Storm actually have great chemistry together. That's really good to know, because maybe after this, we start a little bit of a feud between the two. I've been wanting Tim Storm to have something to do. And maybe PJ Black is a good opponent for him. Maybe he can bring out the best of them. That's not bad. Actually, they had pretty good, strong start. They actually have pretty equal in-ring performances, which is weird, because I wouldn't expect Tim Storm to be that good. But maybe when the two are together, they just jive. That's cool. That's good to know. Nothing else to say about that. But we do have in the Final Four now, Tim Storm, Paul Pinky George's, the founder's grandson's kind of handpicked competitor in this Super Cup, you would have to imagine. So that's kind of interesting that he got all the way there. And he did it all by himself. Let's see if he can take it all the way. Now we have another of the Super Cup matches. Bull James versus Simon Gotch, which is apparently a pretty bad match. I would not expect that from them. But yes, it is not great. E28. A terrible match that didn't have much heat. Bull James defeats Simon Gotch in 13 minutes. When he ends up pounding him outside, doing the bullish thing that we're trying to have Bull James do, and he ends up not able to enter the ring in a 10 count. So, Bull James basically knocked him out, threw him out on the outside, got into the ring, and took the 10 count to get into the Final Fours. So again, we have now in the Final Fours, Storm on side A, Bull on side B, which means our next match will decide who one of them faces. Now, as a breather from the tournament, we have a tag match with the tag team champions getting to exert their dominance. They defeat the Best Friends in 11 minutes, and Tama Tonga defeated Trent Beretta with a pinfall. A good match, C-55. I wanted to have just some more exhibition matches, because I think even though the show ended up going well, I felt like our rating early on was hurt. So if we added more people in here, we could probably do better. Trent is working with an injury, so he was slowed down, but I did protect him, so he should be fine. Pretty good match. They're all about evenly placed, about 55, 55, 51, 57. And it got the crowd hotter, which is good. That's actually I don't think was a note, but that's not bad. So, getting the Best Friends to kind of wrestle together gives the Guerrillas of Destiny a little bit of competition. I think our tag division's a little weak, and it's something maybe we should look at expanding as we continue. But, right now, I want to make sure that the Guerrillas get some wins, and this they do. As much as it hurts me to have the Best Friends lose, this is what happens. Now we have another of the Super Cup on the A side, so this will be determining who faces Tim Storm. In an upset, though despite it being a pretty poor match, apparently, Brian Pillman defeats Dalton Castle in 12 minutes by pinfall with a tornado DDT. It got the crowd buzzing, even though it was a kind of a poor match. Dalton definitely led in terms of in-ring performance, but Pillman's not far behind. It's not that... it was not that far off. Dalton Castle was booked to be strong in the match, so Brian Pillman looked like the underdog, which probably hurt some of the initial rating and definitely the flow of the match, but Dalton Castle was being a little bitch and wouldn't let Pillman put him over anyway, so no one's upset anymore, and that's what's important. I wanted everyone to leave the match happy. But Pillman goes to the Final Four. Kind of probably the dark horse, I would say, of the entire tournament by Brian Pillman. But he is making his way to the Final Four, so he will be facing Tim Storm in the A block to the Super Cup to face the winner of Bull and the next opponent. So some interesting stuff there. So whoever wins, Pillman Jr. and Storm, will be going on to the finals. And that'll be night 3. Now we have a women's division match for the X division. Tessa Blanchard versus Julia Ho. Tessa Blanchard defeats Julia Ho in 9 minutes by submission with a figure 4 leg lock. Not much to say about here. Subpar wrestling, a little heat. They did fine. Julia Ho's a little bit of a better wrestler, but only marginally. But Tesla's more popular. Got the crowd hotter. I mean, they're continuing to get hotter and hotter and hotter. I'm a little worried because I don't have any cooldown matches. So they might get burnt out by the end of this. We will have to see. Though I have some pretty intense matches left, so them being hot is not going to be bad for us. Either way, in the X division, Tessa gets 2 points. So that leaves us for the X division for the month. Brandy, Tessa, and Viper all tied for 2. But still a lot of matches to go. Anyone can get some wins. Remember, it's 2 for a win, 1 for a submission, 0 for a loss. So, you can't lose points, but you can definitely see people gain a lot of extra points in matches that you're not involved in, and it'll be interesting to see how that develops. And we still have not seen, I believe, Tanil has not had any matches yet, so, she was the number 1 contender for the Women's Championship last time. It'll be interesting to see what she does in the X division while Ronda's away. We'll have to see. Not bad, though. D-. And finally, for the last match of the Super Cup, we have Flip Gordon versus Disciple Icarus. 45D. This is not horrible. Flip Gordon is definitely leading in terms of in-ring performance, but to probably no surprise, Flip Gordon defeats Disciple Icarus in 12 minutes with a shooting star press. I wouldn't expect much. This was a high spots match, and I don't have anything one way or the other to say in here in terms of performance. But it did what it needed to do. Flip probably carried the match a lot and ultimately won, defeated the only member of the Cult Josephus in the tournament, and goes on to the finals. So the finals look like on A block, Pillman Jr. versus Storm. B block, Bull James versus Flip Gordon. The winners of both will go on that night, on night 3, to face each other for the Super Cup. And the Super Cup will give them an opportunity at the next pay-per-view to face off against the NWA Worlds Heavyweight Championship for the belt. It'll be interesting to see who it is. So it'll be very interesting. Pillman and Storm, very evenly tied in terms of performance and probably fan favoritism. Both kind of underdogs in the card there, defeating some of the favorites on A block to get there. And, of course, probably Flip is one of the favorites on B block in getting over there. But Bull James I can't talk tonight. Has been having a very strong showing at the Super Cup and could definitely steal the win from Flip Gordon, with Flip Gordon definitely being the favorite on B block. It'll be really interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think will get to the finals and ultimately win? It'll be interesting. We only have 4 competitors left, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens. Anything can happen. I mean, except nothing. Not anything can happen. I have it all written down right now. So something definitely happens. I know what happens. You don't know what happens. That's what's important. So that's what makes it interesting. And I will not change it, by the way. I just want to let everyone know. I will not change it. If everyone says, hey, Tim Storm should clearly win this tournament, I'm not going to go and change the results. But maybe Tim Storm does win it. If you guys want it and then Tim Storm does it, maybe that's what happens. I'm not going to let you know. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I really like doing these tournaments, by the way. I really think these are fun. I'm probably going to do a couple more of these, but I really have a lot of fun setting these tournaments up. I think they're a fun way to make things happen in this game. All right, so moving on. So that was the last of the Super Cup, but it was not the last of the matches tonight. We do have a tag match. It's kind of interesting. Kind of a weird mishmash. I guess it's like Team UK versus Team New Jersey. Nick Aldis and Tyler Bate versus Enzo Amore and Rex Lawless. Great match. C. they all do really well. Rex Lawless is definitely the weakest link of this whole bunch, but what are you gonna do? But we have a tag match. Basically, Enzo's been kind of gunning for the North America. He said he wants any belt, so is this a way for him to kind of exert some dominance? And indeed he does. Good heat, decent wrestling. Enzo Amore and Rex Lawless defeated Nick Aldis and Tyler Bate in 12 minutes. Enzo actually defeated Nick Aldis by pinfall. So Rex was a weak link, struggling to keep everyone else's in-ring performances up, though he is improving his in-game, which is good. I don't think he hurt the match that much. I mean, if we had a better person to tag with Enzo, it probably would have been even better. But, that's who he's aligned with. That's who we have. And it's just interesting to give him the opportunity on a high on the card. So this definitely looks good for Enzo, having stolen a win from Nick and definitely exerted some dominance. You would think this would put him in line to be a number one contender for the NWA North American Championship. And Nick is probably not happy about this. And afterwards, we have a scathing promo where Enzo calls out Nick Aldis and the NWA Championship. It says how disgusting it is that he has a Brit having the North American Championship. And, he does the very typical kind of like patriotic versus foreigner thing, but he takes it way too far to really be a heel, saying, we kicked your asses out of the country, almost 300 years ago for this reason. You think you can come in here and steal what's rightfully ours, and that kind of whole thing. It really cuts into Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis throws some fire back at him, grabs a microphone, says he's a spoiled brat that came from a system that doesn't know how to wrestle. All he cares about is his Instagram followers numbers. He doesn't represent anything, especially North America. And he would be ashamed if Enzo represented anything related to the North American region. So, pretty good back and forth. Billy Corgan on the announce table had a hard time keeping up with the thing. These guys were just too good at talkers. He couldn't add much to it. But damn, good thing. I mean, I definitely, obviously Nick Aldis and Enzo are starting to heat up. That's gold right there. I think B+ is one of the highest ratings we've ever had. Keep these guys together doing stuff and get that hotter, and that's good. Boy, I didn't expect a B+. That is something. And finally, for a main event, we have a very New Japan-style 6-man tag match between kind of a weird showing. We have kind of, I guess you would call it Bullet Club, NWA, plus Chris Dickinson. I don't know why he's there. He's just there. I don't know. I need to give him something to do. I realized the last time I booked him was in April. I felt so bad. So maybe I'll have him tag along with the NWA. Somebody needs to eat pins, right? He's the Chase Owens of the NWA, NWA Bullet Club. So we have the Cult versus this not quite official team yet kind of thing. By the way, should I add somebody? I kind of want to do a Bullet Club NWA with Cody leading it. Who should be the third man? Should it be Chris Dickinson? Should I give him something to do? Let me know. Should I hire somebody else? Add them into the roster that you think would be good for the NWA's or for the Bullet Club branch in the NWA. I don't really want to just here's Marty Scurll. I kind of want to have somebody else within it so that every show has a different group of NWA and I want to say NWO have a different group of Bullet Club members. So I don't I don't want to just bring in people that already exist. I like the idea that there's a separate faction. It's kind of how Ring of Honor does it, where even though they also wrestle in New Japan, they sort of have their own little subdivision versus obviously they've broken off and have the OGs versus the Elite now. But I like the idea of having an NWA, not exclusive, but some exclusive members that are part of it. Maybe Chris Dickinson's a good one for it. Maybe bring Chase Owens over so he can eat pins. I don't know. Let me know. Anyways, good heat, decent wrestling. We built up a lot to this. It was a scripted match. It was a steal the show match. The Cult actually defeats the Bullet Club in 19 minutes. Chris Daniels defeats Chris Dickinson, and he eats the pin. He does it with an Angel's Wings. Josephus was struggling out there. Yeah, he was. But not bad overall. Future NWA storyline advances with the segment. Got the crowd buzzing. Josephus was exhausted. Daniels looked amazing. I mean, this is kind of what you want in this type of situation. This looks good. A bunch of people improved and stuff. Chris Dickinson's getting better in technical. Josephus getting good in performance. Hangman Page is getting good in performance. All great things. C- is not bad. Probably if we had some stronger people in there, we could have got a little bit higher. But the Cult defeats Cody's group, the Bullet Club NWA, which is pretty rough. Not what you want. Especially if you're Cody, especially if you're holding the belt, having this ominous Cult coming in and showing you up is bad. Of course, that leads us to Raven. Leads us to an angle afterwards. Christopher Daniels stands over all three of the fallen tag members of the Bullet Club. Well, Bullet Club and Christopher Daniels. All of them are beaten and bruised and just down on the ground. He strips Cody of the belt and grabs it, kind of stares at it ominously and longingly. It's an object of desire for the Cult, and you could tell through Daniel's steely eyes that is the case. He issues an order to pick up the fallen comrades of Cody as Cody lays on the ground knocked out. So he picks up Hangman Page. He picks up Chris Dickinson, who's completely knocked out at this point. And he brings out his little, kind of ornamental canteen that he has with this weird red blood substance. And he's about to smear it on them like he's done the others. And remember, every time he smears them and he takes them away, something happens. They come back, and they come back a believer in the Cult. So could he be about to strip Cody of his own team, to leave him isolated, to grow the Cult even further, to become even more dominant? But no, Jimmy Jacobs runs out from a gorilla. He runs down the ramp. He immediately starts attacking the Cult. He starts attacking Sammy. He knocks Sammy down. He goes towards Josephus. He clotheslines Josephus over the ring ropes, and then he faces off on Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels gives him one hit and levels Jimmy down onto the ground. But it's enough time for Cody to get back up. Cody gives Christopher Daniels a crossroads. Hangman recovers, and Christopher Dickinson recovers, and a huge brawl goes off onto the ring until all of them have exited the ring, and the Cult has been left to flee backstage. Focus is definitely on Jacobs, who is snarling, holding the ring ropes as he watches as Callahan leaves and exits. They're clearly exchanging words back and forth. Definitely not an alliance right now by Jacobs. This was more about his feud with his former Cult members. But Cody, nonetheless, uses it as an opportunity to save himself and his team from the Colt's power. Looks good. Cody Rhodes came out looking excellent. Jacobs looked a little lost out there, so he didn't quite know what to do. But nevertheless, not bad. Hangman's getting charisma. That's good. He needs it. D+, would hope for something a little bit better, but I guess just a little too much variance between everybody here. But nevertheless, that is the end of night 2. A little bit worse, actually, than night 1. Some of those matches at the end, that post-match brawl actually really hurt us. which is a shame. If we just flipped it, who would have known that if I did a post-match with Enzo at the end of the night and had him cut a promo, we probably would have been at a C-. That's a shame, but that's fine. We did increase our popularity in 11 regions. Everyone performed very well, so I don't think there's anybody that needs to... I don't think we have to be rough to anybody. Let's just call out everybody and compliment everybody that was in a match for a good performance. Just do some random ones that we don't normally do. You pick a lot of the losers. So they say, hey, listen, you lost the match, and you definitely took the fall, and you did the job, but you did it well. None of them were mad, but it's always going to give them a boost, I think. It's easy to be out there and be the guy that wins. It's harder to be the guy that loses. Especially if you're a loser a lot. All right, let's go ahead and check our mail. Cody still hurts. Bad buy rates. And Nick Aldis is talking shit about Josephus again. But nevertheless, we have night 3 in 5 days. We're still losing money. At this point, at the end of this month, I might have to give us a quick injection of cash. I'll have Billy Corgan do a concert or something, because we're just not making the money that we need to. I don't want to do it, but I think we're going to need to do it. And it definitely will have ramifications in both the story that we're building as well as the gameplay, because I'm going to have to probably pay it back. But we will do what we have to do. That is an asset that we have. It's not something we're going to do often, but I think we're going to have to do it one time just to get us out of the rut. This is expensive. This is an expensive month for us. Certainly an expensive month, but I think in terms of what we're doing, I think it's important, and I think it's probably going to pay us dividends here in the popularity tracker, because we're putting on some damn good shows. So that's probably worth it. Anyways, guys, that is it for me. We will we'll keep this going. It's been fun. We're going to be doing night 3. We got 4 people. Only one will be the winner. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. I will see you then. Thanks for watching, guys.